Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a little girl called Little Red Riding Hood. She loved her ruby red clock, swish and swayed, as she skipped around her bedroom. Red Riding Hood lived by a creaky old forest where her mother kept bees and her father chopped down trees. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother gave her a pot of honey. "You take this to Grandma." Birds swoop and chirp as Little Red Riding Hood skipped happily through the trees. "Oh, Little Red Riding Hood," her father, someone else, was watching her too. Wolf, Wolf licked his lips and wagged his tail as he thought about eating Little Red Riding Hood for lunch. He could have followed her and gobbled her up, but this was a cunning and crafty wolf who loved to sneak around and set clever traps. Snickering and snarling, the wolf laid a large net on the path between the trees. His tail twitched as Little Red Riding Hood skipped closer and closer and skipped right over the net. Mumbling and muttering, Wolf dug a deep hole and covered it with sticks and leaves. His eyes bulged as Little Red Riding Hood skipped closer and closer, right over the hole. The wolf had one last plan. Grinning and giggling, he kept to Grandma's cottage and knocked on the door. He waited, and then gobbled Grandma up in one hungry gulp. "Delicious!" the wolf chortled. "Now for the main course." The wolf's grin grew wider as he pulled on Grandma's clothes and leaped into the bed. "I'm so crafty," he called. "I'm the cleverest creature in the forest." Waited and waited. Little Red Riding Hood skipped into the cottage. "Oh, Grandma," Little Red Riding Hood, "I brought you some honey." Little Red Riding Hood came closer. "Oh, Grandma, what big ears you have!"
"All the better to hear you weed, my dear,"
the wolf. "Oh, Grandma, big eyes you have!"
"All the better to see you weed, my dear."
"Oh, Grandma, what big hairy hands you have!"
"All the better to hug you with, my dear."
Little Red Riding Hood stepped back. Grandma, what big teeth you have!" "All the better to eat you with," snarled the wolf. Hooting and howling, the greedy wolf burst from the bed, swallowed Little Red Riding Hood in one enormous gulp. With a full tummy and a happy smile, Wolf fell into a deep and dreamy sleep. You can see Little Red Riding Hood's father at the window. With a mighty roar, Red Riding Hood's father into the cottage. Chopped open the wolf's tummy. Little Red Riding Hood, Grandma came tumbling out. Now, Grandma had a cunning and crafty plan too. Red Riding Hood gathered stones from outside and dropped some into the wolf's tummy, and Grandma stitched me up. When the wolves walked, howled and howled and howled again. Each time he moved, "I'll never be able to sneak around and set cunning traps," he moaned. He fled back to the forest. Now all the wolf could eat were worms and beetles and slow little bugs. He was never cunning or crafty again. And Little Red Riding Hood skipped all the way home. The end. Thank you for listening and reading with Thrifty Mama.